Yo, what's really good, everybody? Is your boy Argenis, aka Genicide from Quarantine Media Labs, and I am here with the amazing Bex. How you doing, Bex, today?
Doing good, doing good.
Right on. Just to say, we had an amazing start to the day today. We got to work on a tiny desk submission, which was an incredible experience. Yeah, let them know how you felt about that.
You know, y'all, we set our solar plexus free in the living room.
Oh, man.
You know, it was good though. It was a vibe. We got the band back together, and it was. I think it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Just seeing the energy, especially like you said, getting the band back together and just seeing how everybody's just reconnected and just everybody kind of fell in their pocket. It was such a beautiful thing. But we're here to talk about you right now a little bit. Let the world know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Yes, we independent artist. I wouldn't categorize just neo soul, but she definitely, her range can pretty much cover anything. That's just my opinion. So Bex, first question would be what led you to this? You know, what was your influence to get to this point to where now you're...
To music?
Yeah, to music. You know what I'm saying? The independent route.
The independent route. Mm-hmm. Well, to music in general, my dad was a musician. He was actually a bass player in like the 70s, 80s. So he was, when music was really good.
The golden era, right?
Yeah. So he was a bass player, obviously, during that time. And then kind of when I was born, he got out of it. Okay. But he traveled a lot and taught me chords on the piano and everything. Okay. So I got into it at a really, really young age and just fell in love with music. Been singing ever since I literally could remember.
Right on.
But as far as what got me to being an independent artist, some terrible situations.
Right?
at the secret agency. No, but learning my lesson about the industry very early on has led me to making some of the best decisions for my career. Being independent, I think, is genuinely one of the best things that an artist can do. Not only in the aspect of, you own all of your things, you're in control of everything, but also, like, I think it builds your character so much as an artist. Like,
right on.
You're hands-on with everything. As far as booking your gigs and creating those connections for yourself and finding those musicians, making your merchandise, making your thank you cards.
It's a whole
whole
world.
Thing.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I get it, definitely. So you would say what would say like. I would say, like, what actually helped you, let's say, evolve that sound? Because obviously, you always have an influence. Mm-hmm. You always have things that kind of give you that guidance to where you want to kind of go. But where would you say was your turning point to say when that evolution of your sound where you actually told yourself, like, okay, I'm starting to find myself in that pocket?
Yeah. I knew what I really loved singing and what connected to people. And it was always soul music. That's just really what... my audience always connected with, and bringing tears to people's eyes, which I never understood as an artist myself. The singer never gets it. It's like, it's just me, like, chill out. No, but I always listened to soul music, and then when I was at the secret agency, I was really pushed towards pop, and pop is just not my thing. I didn't feel like myself when I was recording, writing, but it did push me to test out writing in different genres, which I think was honestly, it did bring me to this point. But really, I just started, once I started being independent and recording myself and figuring out things on my own, I was just playing around with BeatStars and just feeling what came naturally to me. I didn't record to anything that felt forced whatsoever, even if I loved the beat, but like lyrics and melodies weren't coming. I wasn't even going to mess with it. I'm on to the next thing that flowed naturally, just to get myself out of that rut that I was in, and really kind of discover that sound. But it's forever evolving. I'm not even going to stay exactly what I am right now. It could evolve into R&B or pop R&B or whatever, you know. But I think that's one of the beautiful things about being an artist.
And then one thing that you did mention, which I do realize, me working as an engineer with a lot of artists too, it's the fact, like, for example, you said, the pop wasn't really what you were, but it's the fact that sometimes you have to come out of your comfort zone to really realize, like, oh, I can do that though, or okay, I didn't know I could push myself in that. You know what I'm saying? So, now I definitely get that, because that's one of the biggest things I would say also personally, when it comes to like the evolution is the fact of being able to be in an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
and working your way
And
out
adjust,
of it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is really, really dope. So with that being said, I know you face some challenges, right?
Yeah.
Who doesn't, as a musician, as an artist, independent artist, we face some challenges. What would you say as far as with the challenges, how do you feel, like for another female independent artist to say, you know, with the challenges you face, how do you feel the industry, do you feel like the industry caters well? Do you feel like there's things that they can do to focus more on, let's say, the artistry than maybe what the industry tends to portray, which would be more of a culture thing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This industry is definitely not built for women, but it's built to promote women and what we embody, which is a really interesting concept because I feel like the actual deep appreciation isn't there when most of our industry is made up of women. But the people behind the scenes are all men telling the women what to do, you know? And I've experienced that myself, obviously, recently. You know, they'll tell you what to wear, they'll tell you what to say, how to act. And if you don't do something a certain way, maybe you're a diva, maybe you're hard to work with, but you have to take that chance and stick to what you believe in. And you have to learn how to be feminine, but also firm at the same time.
Right
that
on.
that is such a huge thing that I feel like I've learned for myself, just in life, but also in business. Because at the end of the day, my biggest advice for any woman that wants to go into the music industry or is an artist or even a producer or whatever the case is, a musician, lost my train of thought. Hold on. I derailed.
It happens.
Hold on.
You see, this is the mind of an artist. You know what I'm saying? Because our thoughts go everywhere. And in most cases, usually when we feel that way, we put it on paper or we put it on a song. You know, so
Yeah.
it happens.
Yeah.
I feel you. It happens. Don't worry.
You know.
We're coming back.
Yep. Circling back. No, but just being firm in what you believe in, and don't be afraid to use your voice and speak up and say what you want. But I feel like you can't do that unless you are hands-on with everything that you're doing, you know? So you have to look at yourself as a business, as an artist. Like, you're a creative, you're an artist, you do all of these things, but you're also a business at the end of the day. And at a certain point, you're going to start making money and you have to operate as a business.
Right on.
So being able to move in that direction and know how to operate in those circumstances
Definitely.
around people that are in bigger businesses than maybe you are. You know, I feel like that's just the most important thing, being intelligent in this industry.
Yeah, and it seems like even just from listening to that, it all comes down to really finding the balance between the creativity and the business. Because if you don't find that balance, one or the other could really throw you off. You know what I'm saying? But definitely. Now, let's get a little bit more into your music. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we're here for. Solar Plexus. Let the world know, what was your inspiration behind, what's the message behind Solar Plexus? When they listen to that, what can they take away from your music?
Healing, number one, but also redemption, honestly. I wrote that project, each song, obviously at a different point. I think I was writing for like a year and a half before I had a full project come to life. But I really wanted to create more healing music because that's what I was listening to at the time. I was in such a tough spot just after the secret agency, and just my college experience was ridiculously insane for no reason at all. But you know, I was 23 when I started writing this, and it was just I was listening to artists like Cleo Sol, Erykah Badu, Snow Allegra, Ariana, you know, just very positive artists that are just wanting to spread love and healing. And that really spoke to me. And it just shifted my mindset. Like, you don't realize how much what you're listening to truly affects your soul until you switch things. And shout out to Larry June, too. Like, just love him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess I'm sleeping on it because I haven't gotten a chance to really listen to his music. I'm always working on independent artists, so you know, like local artists. So it's kind of hard for me to kind of keep up with the industry. But just you know, just again with the influences and stuff like that, is just you can kind of tell. You know, you mentioned about the sound healing, and it's crazy because I experienced what was it like a year ago that we went? Yeah, so I went to the Janae Aiko Magic Hour tour. So
For sure.
The experience I could say personally, that sound healing thing is such a big deal. I never seen anybody really incorporate it at such a grand scale.
Yeah.
You know, and Just like, for example, that day, usually when I go to concerts and stuff like that, you know, the crowd, it's almost impossible to control the crowd no matter what you're doing. You can tell them to be quiet, they're not going to be quiet. You know, these people are just going to go off. But like, for example, with the sound healing, when people actually like go there for that or to experience that, like in her concert, the moment she told everybody like, yo, quiet down, it's time for the sound healing. Honestly, like, there could have been 30,000 people in there and you could have dropped the pin and heard it.
That is
because
so
that's
cool.
how silent. Now that to me was like my yeah, like that star power. That's the first time that I would say that I've been, because you know, when you go to a hip hop concert and all that, it's usually the you know, it's the rowdiness, it's the energy or whatever.
Yeah.
But with the sound healing, the fact that you can have 30,000 people, and not to say that she put it that way, but you could just tell them, yo, shut up for a second because I'm trying to heal
Yeah.
you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And everybody in that stadium was just so quiet.
It's a mentality.
Yeah, it is a mentality thing, but
mentality
it was
for
a
sure.
beautiful experience though, and it's cool that you mentioned that, because sound healing now too, especially like just incorporating it. People don't realize, you know, it's just like even earlier with the sound healing bowl. You know, it's like you think it's an annoying sound, but it brings peace.
Right.
It's almost like it brings like this frequency that just brings balance.
Right.
You know, and when you're able to incorporate that in music, like it's so impactful.
Yeah.
Because it's like a lot of people sit there and don't realize it. They may just be listening to your song,
Yeah.
but they're actually getting healed in the process. And by the time they're done, it's just like, holy crap, you know, that weight off the shoulders.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is really dope.
Yeah.
So again, you know, Solar Plexus is out right now, which again, amazing project. What's your plans? What do you see yourself now that you got this project out? You know, we did this tiny desk submission, which is going to be an awesome thing. What's next? What do you feel now that you have this project out? What's your next goal? You know what I'm
That's like
saying?
the hardest question for an artist, honestly, because you never know where it's gonna take you. You have no clue. An opportunity could literally pop up tomorrow. And your whole life could change. So I guess I'll rewire the question and say like my goals for the next month or 6 months or a year even, because I don't really know where it could take me, but I know for a fact I want to surround myself with a really solid team of good people who care about me, who care about my music, and have the same mentality, you know? And I have that right now, and it's the biggest blessing out of something so nasty and surrounded by such terrible people. God has blessed me so much with having people like you and Bree and Moskino and Ramsey and JJ and Primo and Mac and Cindy and Josh and Joshua and Dave, everybody.
Yeah,
like,
it's amazing.
It's literally been so amazing to have this group of people surrounding me that have my back, that when these people come to me and they say these crazy things, they're going to stand up and be like, why would you say something like that?
Yeah, facts.
You know, and that's literally worth more than gold, especially in this industry. And those are true friends. Those are business partners. That's a team. You know what I mean? So, continuing to grow that team, to reach bigger circles and to do bigger things and to do bigger shows in bigger arenas. You know what I mean?
That's the goal, definitely.
So that's really a huge goal for me. And of course, just continuing to create more music and create better music and continue to just heal people with it too. And get more listeners.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Facts. You know, again, support system is really huge.
Huge.
You know, again, yeah, the secret agency. You know, who doesn't go through something like that? There's a lot of artists that do go through things like that. You know, obviously not too many get to speak up, or you know, they kind of try to do what they can to brush it off or whatever. But really, a support system is so huge.
Yeah.
Because you know, even as an artist, I know you know this, but again, you could be in a mental block. You could be, you know, your writer's block, mental block, depression, just a bad day. And that support system can somehow breathe life into your mood and just kind of shift everything.
Yeah,
you know
no,
what I'm
I
saying?
was literally in that position after I left the secret agency. I was basically dormant in music for a year and a half. And I had no connections. Like, I was shut out. I had no way of getting back into music. Nobody to teach me what to do. Nobody to tell me advice or anything like that. So I was just genuinely on my own. And that was when Ramsey had reached out to me off of an Instagram post of a photo shoot that I was not even going to go to. But my man was just like, go do that. you need to go do that. You're going to love it. You're going to have a good time. You're going to go be creative. I'm like, shut up. Leave me alone. I'm like, I'm going to go. And then I was like, you're right. I had a great time. I had a great time. Yeah, and it sparked something in me. And because I posted those pictures, though, Ramsey was like, oh, are you releasing something? I'm like, oh, no. I am so not releasing a single thing.
Nothing?
But it was the kindness of him reaching out to me and wanting to help me and then bringing me to your studio where I sounded like absolute shit.
No comment. I'm not going to say
couldn't
anything,
write
okay?
a
I'm
song,
not trying to get beat up on camera.
Couldn't write a song. Could not, like, hold a note without being pitchy because I was so used to using auto-tune. Like, it was just a whole mess. But it was the kindness of you doing that for me and allowing me to have the studio time and dealing with that because I just felt so bad. I'm like, this is terrible. This man is wasting his time. I just need to go be by myself.
Yo, I've dealt with worse. I still deal with worse. Let me leave it at that. All right? Secret agency. Nah, I'm just we'll leave that with the secret agency stuff. But so all right, so what would you Yo, that's wild. I know that's wild. You get it. So with all that then, what would you give as advice? Because obviously going through all those things, the transformation, the breakthrough moment, the having the right support system, and then another thing too, before I forget, the thing about a team. It's beautiful when the team comes together when you're not looking for it.
Yes.
When God does his thing, God is always good.
Yes.
Don't forget that.
And I have always prayed. It has been religiously I have prayed. That God would put the right people in my life to make my dream happen. I have consistently asked for that for a very long time, since I was probably in middle school. And it's taken so long to get to this point right now where I genuinely feel like it's here.
Like they say, right? It's on his time, not yours. It's not when you want it. But when, again, the beauty of it is when you're not stressing having to pull people in. You know what I'm saying? It's all attraction because it's a divine thing. People who are like-minded, positive energy. It's a magnet. It just pulls no matter what. Even if you don't know each other, somehow it'll happen.
Yeah,
the universe works in mysterious ways, and God does his thing.
For sure.
But as far as advice that you would give the next, let's say, independent female artist that is in your position, it was in your position, you know what I'm saying, or is in your the position you were before. I'm sorry, but what would you give for the advice? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you tell them to help them kind of break out of that mentality? Because again, even it doesn't even take having to be a female artist. It could just be a male, female artist. And it's one of those things that we tend to be hard on ourselves. I know you've gone through it where, you think, let's say you think you sound like crap. You play that to 10 different people and they all tell you sound great. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like you kind of reevaluate, like, am I overthinking or whatever?
Yeah.
So what would you give as advice for that artist, that next artist, male or female? You know what I'm saying? That could help them break through, that helped you break through.
Yeah. I think, obviously a lot of it is rooted in self-confidence, for sure. I would say, and I even say it in the last song on my project, like, I would listen so much to other people's opinions. That's all I cared about, was what other people thought about my music. And at a certain point, you just have to say, like, why am I worried so much about what other people think?
Yeah.
When I like this, I like how this sounds. Why am I worried so much about what this person thinks, that person thinks, that person thinks? Like, somebody out there is going to love what you do. You know what I mean? And odds are you are your hardest critic every single time. So just accepting that and having that in your mind and not thinking too hard about it, honestly, and just creating, releasing, and accepting the fact that you are really good and somebody is going to love your music. And that's really all that matters. Like, if you love what you do, everything, it's the attraction. Everything is going to come to you. The people are going to gravitate. The listeners, the opportunities, everything is going to come to you when you believe in you. And you don't even have to be the most confident person in the room. You got to fake it till you make it. Literally, you absolutely have to fake it till you make it.
You'd be surprised that saying is still effective.
Yeah, no, it literally
is. It still is effective to this day.
Like that last show that we did, I literally didn't even let myself think about it, and I just went up there and I killed it. And everyone's like, "Oh, you look so great! Da da da! You look really comfortable." I'm like, I don't even know if I was or not. I didn't even let myself
roll with it.
think about it. So yeah, just believing in yourself more than anybody else does, truthfully. And it's such a cliche thing, like, oh, believe in yourself, be confident. But it genuinely, like,
it's true.
You have to love what you do for other people to love it, you know?
Facts. Yeah, you got to love yourself. You got to love what you do before somebody else, you know what I'm saying? You accept somebody else's opinion, because realistically, again, you know, it's what you do is what you attract. So obviously, if you're really focused on your creativity, everything will land for you. Everything, the universe will bring it right in. God will definitely open the way and bring it right in. Honestly, this is dope. I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How can the people get in contact with you? How can they find your music? Let them know.
Every channel.
Where's Bex at?
Every channel is available. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Threads. I'm on whatever X. No, but you can listen to my project on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, YouTube, the whole 9 yards. And we got a lot of big stuff coming for y'all. Some big performances, some cool videos. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So definitely tune in.
And so, you know, if you do look it up on the search bar, you do spell it a little different.
Yes. So for everybody, my name is Bex, but it's spelled where the E is the 3. So it's B3XX.
Just there you go. You know what I'm saying? I had to throw that one in there because I know, you know, if you say Bex and they look for it with a regular E, it's not popping up.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Again, it's a pleasure and honor just sitting here next to you and, you know, letting the world know that you got something serious in the works. Again, look out for the Tiny Desk submission. Obviously, it's going to be submitted within the next day. Because, yeah, you know, they need that by a certain date. And we are ready to show the world what she is capable of. You know what I'm saying? Again, shout out to everybody that was involved making it happen today. Shout out to you, Bex, again, for the time for sitting here and letting the world know a little bit about yourself.
And shout out to the team, y'all.
Yeah, facts. You know, shout out to everybody. Shout out Moskino, who's right there staring at the screen hard, making sure everything goes well. Again, be on the lookout. Again, Bex Solar Plexus is available on all major streaming sites. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of things in the works. Stay tuned. Tap in. Follow. Yeah. See y'all soon.
See ya.